Hey guys, this is Tauna, and today we're going to be talking about the Secret Lair for Spider-Man. So this is the Spider-Man Superdrop that's going to be happening September 22nd. So you're going to be able to get your hands on all of these Secret Lairs then on the Secret Lair website. I love the art of so much for them, but there's just so much not going well for it that I'm a bit disappointed in a lot of these. So I'm going to go through all of them, talk about how much they're worth in regards to non-Secret Lair pricing. If you do like, Secret Lairs and love the art, then obviously that's going to justify you getting them themselves. But I like talking at it from like a value reprint point of view as well. So before we do get into that, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share the video around, all that kind of stuff. We've hit 21,000 subscribers now. We've got 4,000 to go in just under 3 months. So let's see how we can go for that. So the first one here is the Daily Bugle breaking news one. This is the one that I think is the most unique and I really like it. I understand that some people aren't going to. Keep in mind, most of these are going to be sitting around that $30 US mark. $30 US for these, and then 40 for the rainbow foil. So first up, we got fact or fiction, and I kind of like the choices for them because they're like meant to be Daily Bugle like headlines, essentially, like fact or fiction, Spidey good for the city. And I really love that idea, and I think that's really, really unique. Is it worth $30 for 5 cards? No, I don't think so, especially the cards they've chosen. But I do think they could have chosen better cards that also would be able to fit here. So fact or fiction here, 13 cents it's sitting at. We've got Frantic Search here sitting at 40 cents. These are useful cards, right? Like they're good cards. Not sure about in a Spidey deck, but, they are at least useful cards, but they're not the most, useful, like the most expensive kind of reprints they could have potentially done, or the most valuable reprints they could have done, I said. So we've got Scheming Symmetry here, which is the most valuable one here. I love it. I kind of like the idea of it being like, Scheming Symmetry. Can we handle 2 Spider-Man? I think that's kind of unique, and I think it's very interesting. Also, it's interesting that these ones here have the instance down there or down here. They all have the card type in a different kind of spot, but it's meant to reflect different kind of newspaper headings and stuff, which is cool. I love the idea. Again, I really love the idea behind this. There's just zero value in it. We've got Blasphemous Act here again, showing off Spidey here. We've got Green Goblin here in the background. The art is amazing. I even love the composition of it being the front headline and everything, showing the explosion here with the bugle in the background. But it's just the value of it is just not there. 171 here for this one here. And then finally we've got Impact Tremors, Spider-Man, Rhino, Strike City. Really cool. Again, really, really great. But I just feel like there was just so many other cards that they could have potentially reprinted with keeping with this kind of, theme and the thematic of the fact that it's meant to be Spider-Man-ish kind of cards here. We've got most colors here represented. We've got black, we've got red, and we've got blue. So I guess, in a Grixis deck, so Green Goblin deck these could fit into and stuff. In a Spidey deck, not so much, because the actual Spidey from the set doesn't have red or blue in him, if you're looking at the Peter Parker flip Spider-Man one. But there's still uses for them, and I think that they're good, useful cards. Just there was potentially way better ones they could have chosen. This is probably one of the better choices. This is probably one of the better ones as well, which we'll get into in a minute, the other ones. Next up, we got the Heroic Deeds one here. So again, that $30 US price there. We've got here Ephemerate, $4. I don't know about the the choice of cards for this one here, but I will talk about a little bit about the cards later on, because I really like something they've done here as opposed to what they've done in the main set. So here we've got Ephemerate, a nice kind of flicker card that everyone kind of uses for their flickers deck, and they have 3 visits. I do really like this one. I think this is a decent reprint, not a super valuable one, but a decent reprint, and a decent art, showing the 3 spiders kind of coming through and stuff. We've got Lightning Greaves. Here's where this one starts going down. We've got Lightning Greaves, we've got Soul Ring, and then we've got Command Tower. Oh boy. So all three of these getting reprinted here is assumedly meant to be like a Commander Kickstarter, right? Like if you're building a Spider-Man deck, you know, these are all going to be great cards for a Spider-Man Commander deck because, you know, you can show off your Spidey Soul Ring and stuff. But they've just been reprinted so much, right? Like in so many different secret layers. These are the kinds of things that I would have liked to have seen in the bonus sheet instead. In fact, I think the bonus sheet would have been a great place for them to kind of do these kind of more commandery staples. And I think the people would potentially like that a lot. You know, these are obviously, you know, the commander staples. That's why they've reprinted them here. But they're just a bit disappointing when you look at them being reprinted in so many different secret layers, and it's probably the reason why the Avatar set comes with that commander bundle that has these three cards within it. Next up, we've got the mana symbiote one here, and oh boy, so this is a set of 5 lands. You'll get 2 of each of them, so you get 2 plains, 2 islands, 2 swamps, 2 mountains, and 2 forests, and that's going to set you back $60 and it's only available in raised foil. Yeah. If you're, you know, if you're wailing out for this, more power to you and stuff like that. They do look absolutely sick and stuff like that. But the price tag sitting on them, like, you know, that's what, 10 lands for the price of $60. You're getting like $6 per each one of these lands. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think that's worth it. But, you know, if you really, really like this look, then definitely kind of, you know, keep an eye out for them. Next up, we got the Venom Unleashed one here, which I think is the most valuable of all of them. So this one here is sitting at $30 again. We've got Damnation here, and this one here actually is going to come with 2 different layers, right? There's 2 different secret layers here. One of them is going to be the colors one, which is this one here, and then you've got the ink ones here, kind of showing off the original inking prior to it getting colored. You can actually see the colorist down here below as well. You know, this one here was colored by J. David Ramos there, and the illustration by Mark Bagley. Really cool. We've got Dark Ritual again, really great cards to kind of see reprinted here, and I think this one here is honestly a decent secret lair almost. Like it's not amazing value, right? But it's at least, you know, decent value. We've got Peer into the Abyss here. We've got the Surgical Extraction, and then finally Tendrils of Agony. Like, you know, these 2 here are close to that price tag of $30. Not exactly, you know, they're not exactly, but you are getting, you know, that you've got a little bit of that premium because it's going to be the Spider-Man versions of it. But at least, you know, they have some value in this secret lair. All right. Next up, we got the final one here, the Villainous Plots one. So this one here is, these are comic book art, right? These are art taken from the comic books and then taken and shown off here. So this one here is the Deadly Dispute. Again, Deadly Dispute has been used in so many different secret lairs. I think so many different, like, bonus sheets as well, or at least it was within the Final Fantasy bonus sheet. But, you know, it's a good card to have. I think it's a decent card to have, right? But it's still met in regards to its value, right? Because it's been reprinted so much lately. We've got Go for the Throat, a nice kill spell there. We've got Lightning Greaves. Yeah, that's right. You saw it here. Lightning Greaves. Where have we seen a Lightning Greaves before? Oh boy, look, it is Lightning Greaves, that one super duper unique card. That's right. In this secret lair, 2 of the drops actually share 3 cards. We've got Lightning Greaves, we've got Soul Ring, and we've got Command Tower. Again, I really love like the art for these, right? The Command Tower, the Soul Ring, you know, the Lightning Greaves, not so much the Lightning Greaves, but the other 2, I think are really great art. Using them as a secret lair to kind of, you know, pad out that secret lair, not so much. I think that, you know, there was better cards to have chosen, and then find other ways to do these things, right? Like, you know, the Commander Bundle. I like that idea for Avatar. I don't think it's, you know, a great cost for it, but I do like that idea. You know, we got the Soul Ring here, the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. I love that. I love that. You've got, you know, the Oscorp there. It's really great. But in regards to price, these are not it. There is just not really much value here. So for my summary, you know, if you like the art, pick them up, right? If you like the art, pick them up. If you're not going to be proxying them, which, you know, I feel a lot of people are going to potentially proxy these because the value in regards to the price of the Secret Lair is just not there. The Venom one that I talked about earlier, the one with the Damnation, the Dark Ritual, you know, Tendrils of Agony, etc. That one's there is still the closest in regards to value and has some value, but even then it's still lacking in value. And I just really dislike, again, that 2 of them shared 3 of the exact same cards. I get their commander staples and they're meant to be like, you know, heroes and villains versions of them, but still, it's just disappointing. What actually is more disappointing to me, though, is when I actually look at these and how amazing, like, you know, the art is of them and the framings of them, and then comparing them to what we actually got in the set. I hate so much this white text, black border shoved onto comic book art. I think that it looks so much better with the actual borders for a Magic card like this one here, kind of showing it off. And I think that this kind of, you know, Secret Lair has shown that that would work for this bonus sheet, right? It would work for the bonus sheet and it would still go just as hard and just as great. You know, you might need to adjust a little bit on the framing of things potentially, but I think that it would be great. And I think that it just looks so much better than the actual, you know, bonus sheet that we ended up getting. But let me know what you guys think. Am I being too negative about this Spider-Man set? I will say that, you know, I am being more negative because of the fact that I was quite so hyped about it, you know, and because I love Magic so much and I love Spider-Man so much, right? Like, it's coming from a point of passion, not a point of hatred. I love Universes Beyond, but this Spider-Man one has just been disappointment after disappointment, unfortunately. Let me know what you guys think. Have a great day and goodbye.